Have you ever felt like you were surrounded by people who only reached out when they needed something? Maybe they only called when they needed a favor, or showed up at your doorstep unannounced, when they had nowhere else to go. It can be disheartening and exhausting to realize that some people only value your friendship or company when it serves their own interests. But what if there was a better way to handle these situations? What if instead of getting angry or feeling used, you could respond with grace and dignity? Imagine walking away from someone who has been nothing but a taker in your relationship, someone who has always expected you to be there for them, without ever considering your own needs or feelings. As you turn your back on them, a sense of calm washes over you. You realize that you no longer have to carry the weight of their expectations or the guilt of not being able to help them every time they ask. This may seem like a small victory, but it's actually a significant step towards emotional maturity and self. By choosing to walk away from this toxic dynamic, you are setting a powerful example for yourself and others. You are demonstrating that you deserve more than to be taken for granted, and that you will no longer tolerate being treated as a secondary priority in someone else's life. This simple act of defiance can have ripple effects, inspiring others to do the same and ultimately creating a world where everyone is valued and respected. I know it sounds cliché, but sometimes cutting people out of your life is the best thing you can do for yourself. It may feel scary and lonely at first, but trust me, it's worth it. The peace of mind and emotional freedom you will experience is priceless. And the funny thing is, once you start setting boundaries and prioritizing your own way, you'll find that those same people who used to take you for granted will suddenly be less interested in your life. They'll realize that you not always available and that you untolerate being treated like a doormat. And while that may sting a little bit at first, it's just proof that you're on the right track. So let's dive deeper into why it is so important to walk away from those who use you, and how doing so can be a blessing in disguise. Once upon a time in a bustling city, there lived a young woman named Sarah. She was a bright and bubbly person who always had a smile on her face. She was the kind of person who would drop everything to help a friend in need, but she had one particular friend, Kate, who seemed to need a lot of help. Kate was always calling Sarah for favors, from picking up her dry cleaning to running errands during work hours. She would show up at Sarah's apartment unannounced, and expect Sarah to drop whatever she was doing to cater to her needs. At first, Sarah didn't mind. She enjoyed being needed and felt a sense of fulfillment from helping her friend. But as time went on, she began to resent Kate's constant demands. She started feeling like a personal assistant rather than a friend. The more she enabled Kate, the more entitled Kate became. She took Sarah's kindness for granted and never reciprocated when Sarah needed help. Despite the imbalance in their friendship, Sarah couldn't bring herself to confront Kate. She felt guilty for resenting her friend and worried that if she set boundaries, Kate would drift away. One day, Sarah reached a breaking point. Kate called Sarah in the middle of the night to come pick her up from a bar. Because she had gotten drunk and couldn't get home by herself, Sarah, who had worked a long shift at the hospital where she worked as a nurse, felt exhausted and frustrated. She had been on call for over 12 hours, and just wanted to go home and sleep. But Kate's call went straight to voicemail, and she didn't bother to call back. In the morning, Kate texted Sarah asking why she hadn't come to help her, and Sarah simply replied that she had to work. To her surprise, Kate responded with anger, accusing Sarah of being a bad friend for not coming to her rescue. Sarah was taken aback by Kate's reaction and realized that she couldn't continue to be her doormat. She knew she had to do something drastic to protect her own well-being, so she decided to confront her friend. She told Kate that she couldn't keep enabling her destructive behavior, and that she needed to grow up and take responsibility for her own actions. Kate was furious and accused Sarah of being selfish. But Sarah didn't care. She had finally found her voice and wasn't afraid to use it. In the weeks that followed, Sarah started to notice a change in Kate's behavior. She saw how her friend was still going out late at night and getting drunk, but now she was doing it without her. Kate tried reaching out to Sarah several times, but she ignored her calls and messages. She was done playing the role of the supportive friend and was ready to focus on herself. As time passed, Kate eventually stopped trying to contact Sarah altogether. She moved on to other friends who would cater to her whims, and Sarah got on with her life. Now, looking back, Sarah realized that walking away from Kate was the best thing she could have done for herself. It allowed her to heal from years of emotional manipulation and neglect. She learned that true friendship is a two-way street, and that sometimes you have to be willing to walk away from toxic people in order to find healthy relationships. Now she surrounds herself with friends who respect and support her, and she no longer feels the need to be anyone's savior. She also works on setting healthy boundaries and prioritizing her own well-being. Overall, Sarah's story is a powerful reminder that it is okay to walk away from those who don't value or respect you. Sometimes we have to prioritize our own happiness and well-being, and that means letting go of toxic relationships. It's not selfish to protect ourselves from emotional abuse or neglect. In fact, it's an act of self-love and self-respect. When we refuse to tolerate toxic behavior, we send a message to ourselves and others that we deserve better. We teach others how to treat us, and when we refuse to accept mistreatment, we empower others to treat us with respect and dignity. It's not easy to walk away from those who have hurt us, but it's often necessary in order to heal and move forward. Letting go of toxic relationships can be painful, but it's also an opportunity for growth and self. When we release the negative energy and drama of toxic people, we create space for new positive relationships to flourish. It's a chance to learn more about ourselves, our values, and our boundaries. It's essential to remember that we can't control the actions of others, but we can control our own reactions. When someone mistreats us, we have the power to choose how we respond. Do we stay and continue to endure the abuse, or do we walk away and prioritize our own well-being? Ultimately, the decision is up to us, but we must be willing to face the consequences of our choices. Walking away from toxic relationships can be difficult, but it's often necessary in order to protect ourselves and our mental health. It is not selfish to prioritize our own well-being, and it is an act of self-love and self-respect to refuse to tolerate mistreatment from others. When we release the negative energy and drama of toxic people, we create space for new positive relationships to grow. It's a chance to learn more about ourselves, our values, and our boundaries. So if you're struggling in a relationship that brings you more pain than joy, I encourage you to consider walking away. It may be one of the best things you ever do for yourself. If you're still listening, write the word "still" in the comments. If you've made it this far, I thank you for listening, and I hope the message of today's story has resonated with you. Please share this video with those who might benefit from it. Your support in spreading positivity and good advice is highly appreciated. If you've liked this video, please hit the thumbs up button and subscribe to our channel to ensure you never miss out on any future videos. Once again, thank you for watching, and we look forward to bringing you more inspiring content in the future.